Now let's focus on what we actually need. So when it comes to fats, one of the most important things here are omega-3s and omega-6s. So with omega-3s, essentially what we're looking for here is that we get a lot more omega-6 than we get omega-3s. You can get omega-3s and omega-6s from a lot of fish, nuts, and even seeds. And also you can supplement for them as well. But one thing that tends to happen is that with supplementation, you have to ensure that you have a good source, especially when you're taking fish oils. Moving along, you have your protein. Now, you're going to get protein from most of the food that you eat, but obviously animal sources have higher protein versus plant sources that do have a lot of protein, but you do have to ensure that you're focusing on getting the right amount of protein from plant sources. And when you look at vegans, for example, or people who are vegetarians, you have to ensure that you're actually sourcing out the protein in vegetarian diets. Now, I was a pescatarian for many years and I was a vegetarian before that. So essentially as a pescatarian, you eat seafood and vegetables, but mostly my diet was fish and vegetables. But now I've moved back to sort of a mixed diet, which involves fish as well as meat. But with that being said, it was always tricky trying to get protein, and especially when you're busy, getting the right amount of protein when I was a vegetarian and also a pescatarian. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's important that you get the right amount of protein, and you can also supplement with it. And with proteins, you can get it with, there's a lot of protein shakes, and obviously you have to look for the right one for yourself, but you can also supplement with protein. Now, with amino acids, you can get that from your food that you eat. Now, it is plentiful in meat as well as non-meat variants. So you can get lots of amino acids, but you can also supplement for amino acids. Now, sugar can come in the form of carbohydrates that get broken down, but unfortunately in the diets that we currently eat, there is just far too much sugar, and there's a lot of processed food which has a lot amount of sugars, especially cornstarch sugars that are inflammatory to our bodies and often can cause some of the symptoms such as brain fog and all the other features that I had mentioned a bit earlier. Then we look at sort of micronutrients, whereby you're looking at your zinc, your copper, your sodium, and other elements that you tend to get in foods that you eat. And also you can basically get that in supplementation as well. And so I'm not here to say that everything needs to be supplemented. I think you can get most of it from the food that you eat, but supplementing some of the bits that you find are hard to get unless you're eating a lot more of it would be a good idea. And so we've covered amino acids, we've covered protein, we've covered sugar, we've covered fats as well. So sort of getting most of your nutrients from food is probably going to be the best thing that you can do. But obviously, if you're busy and you have a schedule where you're finding it hard to just get plenty of food during the day, then supplementing may be the way to go.